Aquarius, this is your reading for the month of May 2021. This is a general reading, so take what resonates, leave the rest. The way I like to do this is usually I start with saying the vision I got for you during my meditation time, and then I pull tarot cards and oracle cards from there as guided. So as far as the vision for you, what I got was basically like walking kind of like almost like on the shore, like not the shore, but you know, like, yeah, where the water is like coming up kind of. But maybe it's like, I don't know, like half an inch or less even as far as coming up. And it's like, it's either you or just the concept of being barefoot and walking in the water, and just that little like, there's different elements. There's the whole experience of that, of like, okay, like being in the water but not really being in the water. But then there's also the element of like hitting the water with your foot, you know, before it comes down. There wasn't a lot of focus on the concept of how the dirt, or you know, the sand underneath, the wet sand, sinks in when you put your foot in. So I'm not really focusing on that, or like really paying attention to that, because it's almost like it didn't do that in the vision. But I'm not trying to get stuff or take stuff from it that, you know, wasn't really the focus or anything like that, because it might not even be about it not doing that. It's just that that's not what the focus was. But let's go ahead and go into the oracle card, or not oracle, sorry, tarot cards. I normally might say like what I think as to like what it would mean for you. Let me think if I should do that. But it was kind of so vague as to which way it's going, where it's going with it. And it's just the element of kind of being in two different places at once. Not two different places, but two different realms. But also there wasn't a lot of focus on either one being like the main thing. It was just like your foot hitting the water, and then that little tiny bit of water before your foot hits the ground, where it was like in the water and feeling just the water. I'm gonna use the Universal Fantasy Tarot. Spirit, God, Universe, what message do you have for Aquarius for the month of May, especially in regards in regards to the vision so far? What message do you have for Aquarius for the month of May, especially in regards to the vision so far? Let's do 3. So I'll say right off the bat, I'll show you. This is a Strength card. Let me make sure it's not all shiny to you, you know, like, can you actually see it? Okay. So yeah, the Strength card, 5 of Pentacles, and then the Lovers card. I like put it up here, but there you go. Okay, so the Strength card, hold on, let me see which way this is going right now. Okay, so one thing I notice is the Strength card is generally, it's about different phases. You know, sometimes you might need to be compassionate, sometimes you may need to show strength, and either way there's like strength in being able to be both. A lot of it too is the concept of, you know, normally in the Rider-Waite-Smith version, it's the lion, and the lion is fighting its instincts and trusting and allowing themselves to, you know, bond. But it's like responding to the compassion from the woman. And the woman is fighting her instincts to run and flee or whatever, and being there for the lion in compassion. And it's like they're both fighting their instincts to come together stronger. However, in this card, for some of you, okay, so 5 of Pentacles is a matter of like, it's generally it's about, it's like with the 4 of Pentacles, okay? So the 4 of Pentacles was about holding tight and, you know, almost sometimes not trusting what's to come. Well, 5 of Pentacles is basically it's almost like you missed out on blessings. Some of you, you know, might have been in the situation, or, you know, it's like you held on so much that when things were trying to come in your life to bless you, you know, there's abundance trying to come, it wasn't able to. So now it's almost like you're behind where you're supposed to be as far as material, financial, or just the mentality in general. And so now you might feel that, like you might feel like a beggar in a beggar situation, because, you know, it's like you're hungry for that. You feel in need, basically. Especially, it's crazy, this card. Like, it's got this whole big thing like towering over, and it's just like, but one thing I noticed, I wasn't even seeing this at first, is the idea that it feels like she's like kind of with the dragon thing, or lion. I mean, I know normally it's a lion, but this deck is so different. So it's like, I don't know what creatures usually they're trying to show. And it almost feels like this is an element, like this is, for some of you, it's different parts of yourself. For some of you, it's in a relationship situation, and it's like you might identify with this side, or you might identify with this person, and it's like there's just a really big, like, a disconnect. I just feel this pride, like when they've bonded so much, and it's almost like there's this click. I'm not saying they're a click, but anyone looking is like, okay, the woman's untouchable because the lion's right there, and the lion's untouchable because the woman's right there. Like, you know what I mean? Like, there's this like trust here so much that no one else can penetrate into that circle. And so I feel like some of you are dealing like in a romantic or relational situation, especially because the Lovers card is right here. I feel like this is kind of just like labeling this, okay, this is a Lovers, but we'll see. And it's like you've been in this place, and you've bonded, and you've connected in yourself, and you've worked on yourself, and you've done all this. And I say in yourself, but it's like either you and connections or whatever. But it could just be you and parts of you. You know, you could be just integrating in yourself and, you know, kind of healing in a way. And then the other person's like there, and you're just like, you look untouchable. You look just as untouchable as that to anyone in need. So I feel like, and some of you might be looking and might be dealing with a partner situation or a relational situation where the other person seems like they're in need. But it also feels like some of you know that, like, you know that they weren't willing to be there. They weren't willing to ask for help before. And so now they're asking for help, and you're like, you're kind of questioning, like, am I really, like, am I still here? Is my heart still in this? Like, am I still not compassionate, but it's almost like some of you guys feel like you've kind of like, it's the last straw. And it's not even the last straw. It's like you've moved on beyond that. And it's like when the other party or whoever you're dealing with is in a needy situation, it's almost like you've kind of shut off that compassion because just basically out of, I mean, not so much self-protection. It might have originally been, but I just feel like there's this, like, it's weird. This good thing over here is so good and so in itself that even if you have shut off the compassion, or if you haven't, you look untouchable. And some of you are dealing with that in your lives, where you're working on yourself so much that that certain people that normally would be needy and normally would be like, and I don't mean needy in a good way, I mean like beggar mentality, but then as soon as you try to help them, it's too much for them. And it's like, I'm not saying that's what this card is, but that's what I feel like for some of you. But basically they're not ready to help themselves, and they're not ready for that. And so some of that is like, they're looking and they're like, wow, you're really strong. And so they're like, they might be facing you, but they're so down about it because of how high up you are. And some of you, that could even be like a business situation. I mean, this is Pentacles, so it could be finances, work situation too. I mean, I know Lovers is here, but still. And it could just be the way you relate with people is you're really hard to reach, and you're really, it's like, for some reason I keep seeing like this other person behind him and like just looking up, and it almost feels like this is the one that knows them, and this is the one that's like, oh, okay, I guess we're going here now. And because they don't have that connection, that bond originally, whereas this one does, that's why he's got his face down. That's why he's like, oh no, like, you know, like he feels like he's lost a connection. This one is like, okay, I guess this is where we're going, and kind of like not ignoring the situation, but almost ignoring the situation because it doesn't even look like feasible to go approach this person. So that's what I feel like. I feel like some of you are dealing with a person or a situation, or this is your role in a business situation or something, to where you're pretty much unapproachable. But the reason you're unapproachable is because you've worked with strength and compassion with like in an area to where you've just like built yourself. And like I said, like you have compassion for this, and I'm trying to see like that could be, I think it's two different groups. Some of you, it's yourself, it's working on yourself, and some of you relationally, it's you know what's funny? Okay, some of you, this is a third party situation. You're all bonding and you're connecting with this other person. And then here's this person that either is like an old person from the past, or, you know, someone that has always just kind of been there, but not really ready for you and not ready in themselves. And now they're looking at you and they're like, yeah, this isn't going to work. Not this isn't going to work, but like, you know, like already down, like looking down, can't even look at your face. And you're just like not high and mighty, but you know what I mean? But not in a bad way. It's like in yourself or in your connection. Either way, it's trust. Like you're in a strong place, in a growth place. Some of you also, I mean, the way energies work, I could be, you know, the energy of the person you're dealing with or the situation you're dealing with can be imprinted, not imprinted, but kind of on you energetically, that I could be reading the other person's energy, and this could be you. But I feel like a lot of you, this is you. And you, I think this is what you've been seeking all along. So whether you're finding it in this, or whether you're growing yourself in a place to where you can actually be this, like you're in a really good place. It's funny too, because if you look at it, like, I mean, this is similar colors all together. Actually, it is. Like, it's got those colors, and then it's got some of the browns and that. So it's like, it is. It's like, this is a picture of like, this is what you want. Some of you might already be having it, like I said, but this is like ultimately what you want. And it's not necessarily like, you might not really for sure be seeking a romantic relationship or anything like that. I'm not saying it that way, but you want that energy. You want that. And I see this as that kind of card, because sometimes this is a choice. This is a choice you need to make. Like, okay, are you going this path? Are you going that path? But right now, I see it as that's what this is already. You want that give and take. You want that equal. You want that holding each other equally, you know, not in a codependent way, not because one person isn't willing to grow and the other person is, or one person needs to be convinced of how much they're worth. No, you want like a full, strong connection on both ends. Let's see. As far as the bottom card of it, I mean, I'm trying to see, is there anything? Oh, yeah, sorry. And as far as with according to the vision, it is. It's like you're touching on the water, and water's emotional, psychic, intuitive. So it's like you might be on the ground, not the ground, but you know, your whole body is, you know, in the air, not air, but you know, out of the water basically. And it's like you're just touching it, and you're getting in it, and like not getting in, but you know, like basically like the water's like, I don't know, like up to there. So you feel like when your hand, or not your hand, your foot touches the top of the water and comes down. So you feel that, and then that bottom part of your foot is in the water. So it's like, you know what I feel like? I feel like it's like you're in the water. You know, you're emotionally vulnerable in this area, but not in everything. But it's not in a bad way. Basically, like, you're not letting it take you over. You're choosing right now to be in the land, on land, not, you know what I mean, in air. You're choosing to have your body remain dry right now. So, you know, you're in charge of all that, because that's where you are right now, and that's your boundaries. I feel like a lot of you guys are, I mean, there's a lot of boundaries you've put down, whether you were before or not. You're coming to a place, this energy, where you're going to be putting more boundaries down and more valuing yourself, whether that's you in relationships or you and yourself. And I really do feel like this is like integrating in yourself for some of you. Like, you're growing as a person. Yeah, because I mean, this is also, like I said, a choices card, like choosing which path. You've chosen the path. Like, when you look at it that way, you've chosen the path. Like, you could have been like dealing with this person or dealing with this energy, even on the, you know, entertaining that. And it's like, you're not even like associating with that. You're here, you're busy on you, you're working on you. Yeah. Okay, as far as the card underneath, Ace of Swords, a new mentality, a new, you know, again, putting down boundaries. You know, swords is mental and verbal. So it's a new way to do things, a new thing. Like, this is, a lot of you are coming away from this, and this is like trying to come back to you, but it's not really coming back to you anymore, because now it's not like, I mean, it's facing you, but like I said, his head is down. Some of you guys might be getting people reaching back out to you, but regardless, it's going to be different now when, you know, you have past people coming back to you. Like, they're going to basically end things before you can. Not even end things, but you know what I mean? Like, know that the connection's not there, or it's not there, because you're actually like in a higher vibrational place than they are. So they're not ready to even understand that or try to follow that. Like, they're too busy looking down. They can't ever see that when they're looking down. When they're not willing to admit to you, like, okay, this is where I am, and you've come beyond this, and you know what I mean? When they're not willing to face you face to face, then they're not ready. Because to face you face to face, to look at you face to face, would be like admitting that they're in this place and they don't like it, and they want to learn, you know, how to get where you are. They want to learn how to do better in their lives, but they're not willing to do that. They're just busy looking down. So it's almost like a avoidant mentality. And some of you guys might be dealing with that. Some of you guys might be dealing with like an avoidant personality type. But yeah, you're not having it. You're moving forward, new mentality, new boundaries, all of it. And it's not because you're trying to live in here. It's not because you're trying to make this work. It's because you're already working on this so much that like the energy that comes out from that is just basically like, it needs to fall in line or it leaves. You know, anything that's obstacles or, you know, negativity around you, it either falls in line, respects you, or it leaves. As far as, it's really good though. Like, you guys are in a really good place, especially like, gosh, I mean, last month's tarot for you guys was a bit interesting. So, I mean, you guys seem like you're coming out of that and you're coming to a place to where you're seeing things for what they are. I mean, you have already seen things for what they are now, and now you're, you know, you're here. So it seems like you're really working on you. Like you're in a different place than that other person. Because I think this other person, we saw this other person last time too, and it's like now they're begging. Now they might, but it's not begging from a place of healing. It's begging from a place of, I want this to still work, because without you or without whatever they're, you know, seeking, nothing works for them. And it's out of wanting it to heal. They want to heal out of wanting things to be easier, but they don't want to do the work necessarily. Some of them, most of you are dealing with that, of actually doing the healing. So they're not there yet, but you're also not really waiting for them right now. It's not that you're not waiting for them. It's just you're in your own thing right now. You're working on you. You're doing really great as you. So yeah. And I mean, this is what you want ultimately. Spirit, God, universe, what message do you have for Aquarius for the month of May? Especially in regards to the vision and the messages so far. And even if this does turn around and become something, whatever, by then you'll have worked on you. But it's not a matter of like waiting for them, and it's not, you're just doing you. You're doing you and learning more about yourself. Spirit, God, universe, what message do you have for Aquarius for the month of May? Message for Aquarius. And this is the Angel Wisdom Tarot. I think we'll just do one. Release. Endings that lead to new beginnings. The need to release situations or people that hold you back. Spiritual transformation. Let's see. So yeah, it is. That's what you're dealing with. You're releasing that. You have released that. I mean, maybe some of you are coming into this. Maybe you haven't necessarily fully released it because it hasn't like been so obviously apparent coming back to you. But you're releasing that. Releasing the situations and people that hold you back. Spiritual transformation. You know what it's saying. But it's not a releasing, like, it's not, you're not trying to deal with them directly. I mean, you will end up dealing with them. But what I'm trying to say is, sometimes when you go into this position and you deal with them directly, you can become this person and lording over, and it becomes this like parent-child codependent situation. And that's not what you're trying to do. You're not actually trying to go in that dance. You're in your own realm now, and they're going to be coming into yours, but they're not ready for yours. Most of you guys are not dealing with somebody that's ready for your realm, what you're working with, what you're working on. They're not, you know, but like I said, in doing that, you're releasing all this stuff. You're releasing your need for that, you're releasing your need for that kind of connection. You're releasing your need, because when you were in that kind of connection, some of you might have gone back and forth in that, and some of you might have been this person too. Like that energy went with them back and forth. So you're totally releasing all of that, and you're in a total new place. So I hope that resonated for you guys. Hold on. Okay, I feel like I'm supposed to pull one more. I wasn't sure when I said one. I was like, is it really one? But yeah, okay. Here's another one. There you go. So King of Air, so King of Swords again. And the King is, you know, it's authority over mental and verbal. Again, a lot of putting down boundaries. Intelligent, impartial, respected, stoic, receiving wide advice, remain objective and fair-minded, public speaking, communicate clearly, unemotional relationships or being emotionally unavailable. Yeah, you're not going to be available to this person. And it's not out of cruelty or anything. It's just because you've put down your own boundaries and you're working on yourself. And just energetically, naturally, they're going to feel that you're unavailable to them. And like I said, they might approach a few times, but the energy is different. So if you stay in the path you're going and everything's staying in this path, what happens is this. So, and that's the way it is too. I mean, the energies, everything, it's all fluid. So this is based off where you are right now for May, but you can change this, you can make your own decisions, you can do all that, but this is just saying like where things are going, the energies and the good that's needed, where you're, I mean, yeah, like this is actually really good. So but yeah, so let me know what resonates, what doesn't. That's my intention, that you get this exactly when you're supposed to, you know, when you're supposed to receive it, when you're gonna be able to hear it and understand it best. So if that's May, that's great. If that's June or July, sorry to think what came after May, you know, that's great too. But yeah, and like I said, let me know what resonates. You know, if you haven't, like, comment, subscribe, and you know, those of you that already have subscribed, thank you, and you know, that really helps support my channel, and commenting, you know, lets me know what you guys want to hear. But if you haven't subscribed, I really suggest that you do. That way you'll be able to, you won't miss out on any of the new content I bring out. I've been doing a lot more pick-up piles, and yeah, in addition to the monthly zodiac tarot. So yeah, yeah, so and I'll try to put the decks below as always. And also I'm gonna be I did this before, but sometimes I don't mention it in the videos. I'll put a link to a site, free site, where you can basically find out the rest of your chart, to find out, you know, what planets and everything, what signs you have in your chart. That way, you know, you can know what other videos might apply to you. And yeah, so but yeah, I will see you next time.